Hi, hello, it's Pip here from Queen Pip Cards. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. I am going to be showing you some beautiful cards with this stamp set called Beautiful Friendship. It's a new stamp set in the 2019-2020 annual catalogue, and at first glance you might overlook it in the catalogue because it doesn't have anything that kind of stands out as a wow, but you can make some really wow cards with these. You can make some very simple, very plain cards, but then you can jazz them up. Men's cards, who would knew that you could make men's cards from flowers. Some just beautiful pastels, and then some real quite bright funky cards with some black showing and some beautiful backgrounds. It's just a really fun set to play with, and you can make some very pretty things, and you can do it in any colours that you like. I really love a stamp set where there's no colours that are sort of set, predefined or prejudged in your head. So this flower here might be judged as a hydrangea, but it could just be a mass of flowers, or it could even be a background stamp, or you could turn it into whatever you wanted it to be. It doesn't have to be pink or blue or purple. It could be anything. And these could be lilies, they could be roses, they could be peonies, they could be any kind of flower, which is great. And here you've got lupins or heather or any of those kind of flowers, plus some great leaves and some fantastic sentiments, really good ones. So very happy to know you. Birthdays are the best days. Isn't that just the truth? A very big congratulations and best wishes to you. That could cover all kinds of things. And I love our beautiful friendship. And that's such a nice thing to send to somebody. It could be to your husband or your boyfriend, or it could be to a girlfriend, or it could be just to somebody that you work with really closely in your stamping life or in your crafting, or just somebody who you've become a really good friend with. So, or somebody that you've known a very long time, that would work too. So it's a great stamp set, covers lots of different things, and I'm just going to show you a few of these cards. So let's clear these away, and then I'm going to get creative. It's not going to be a massively long video today because, quite frankly, it doesn't have to be a long video. They're very, very quick cards to put together. So this one, I just used the blue and some of those like lupin-y kind of sprays, and then stamped some green in Granny Apple Green, and then some roses or peonies or dahlias, whatever they are, in pink, and then zapped on a sentiment. This one's even easier. This one's just complete colour change. This one's using Mango Melody and black with a spot of terracotta tile just to bring in the ribbon. This one is a sneak peek. Sneak peek of a new embossing folder. See that? It's beautiful. And here it is again. It's called, what's it called? Stylish Scroll embossing folder. And I was lucky enough to get that on the incentive trip. So as you can see, it just embosses beautifully, and it's really nice. And I think it works well both ways. I wanted to try it both ways just to see, but it works, I think, just as well on both sides. Here I've paired it with Birthdays Are the Best Days, Seaside Spray and Rococo Rose, again just mixing in these colours. And here I've mixed it with Pretty Peacock, Rococo Rose and Granny Apple Green. Doesn't that pop? That Pretty Peacock and Granny Apple Green. Who knew? What a great combo. And here I've just cut the ribbon down a little bit, just so it's a little bit thinner. And it just sits on there, so it doesn't take away too much for that pretty embossing folder. That's a very kind of girly one, I think. And then here's my man's card. Nice, Pretty Peacock, which probably doesn't sound very manly, does it? But I've done just the blues and made quite a lot of the greens, and then I've paired it with this layering leaves embossing folder. And if you had somebody who, like your dad or an uncle or your husband or a gentleman friend that liked gardening, this would be a fantastic card for them. It's green, it's got flowers on it, but it's not really girly. So, that's a good one. And then this one is So Saffron with Mango Melody, and then I just used the pens so that I had the right markers, so that I had a different colour for the roses with the stem. Now you can get creative and you can start cutting things out and layering things up, which we might do today. It depends on how I feel, how things are going. But what I had planned for today so far is that we're going to base our cards, make 2 cards based on this layout, a very simple layout, but I've just made it a touch smaller, and we're going to go with the Seaside Spray and the Mango Melody, because those are the colours I think that just work so nicely with the Pretty Peacock, and I love this dark blue. So we're going to combine those together because it gives us lots of different options for doing colourways and stuff. So you will need your Pierce mat out, and I've just popped on one of our mini grid papers that you use with the Stamparatus. It's perfect size. No need to chop down your big grid paper. You can just, you know, jump on and play with this. I'm going to start off by putting down my stamps, which I should have prepared earlier, but never mind. I will get them out now. So the ones that I am using are pretty much all of them actually. I'm going to use that one. Let's take that off. Going to use this, the big roses, some of the leaves, the small rose, maybe a bit of lupin. We'll need some centres, and I'm just going to stick with birthdays are the best days because I send loads of birthday cards, so that works. So we're going to need a big block. Going to need a big block for our roses. They do need a larger block. This one does fit just onto a D if you get it around the right direction. Let's see, there we go. So that just fits on that, and then the small rose, oh, if I can get it out, fits on that one, which is a B. Is this a B? These are B's. No, these are C's. Fits on a C. The lupin will go on a C. No, actually, so I'll put the birthdays on a C. That's easier to put the words on that. And then in here I've got my little one for the lupin. That works. And then this is where I have to start switching around. I can put the tiny inside in that, but I only have 2 little blocks here with me at the moment. I'm going to put that one on there and that one on there, and we'll do the centres. We'll switch the centres around in a second, but I'll put them there just for the moment. Okay, phew. So that's all of that sorted. And then I'm just going to start right in the middle. We're going to use this one to start off with. And as I say, you can mask these off, but you don't have to. I'm just going straight in, and then I'm going to start with some roses around the side, and this time I want to add quite a large swathe of roses just here. There we go. And then fill in with the smaller in Rococo Rose. I think I might have this one coming out this way. There we go. And then this one coming up here. And you can go wherever you like. It's, you know, it's your floral display. That's the important thing to remember. So it's up to you where things go and how they look. So now just coming in with this sort of lupin-y thing. I'm going to have some of these coming out from the side here. Okay. And maybe we'll put one in there, and then a sort of a start of one there. It's kind of looking like a Catherine wheel now, but that's okay. Then we're going to use the Granny Apple Green to go in with some leaves, and again these leaves are going to be randomish. Obviously you don't want them with the stalks pointing off into the middle of space, because you do want them to be sort of slightly attached to the flower. I'll stick this one on here, and then you can start to do shadow ones. So, you know, you might put some here in the background. Okay, see, now that was a bit of a random one because it didn't actually attach to anything, so let's do that. Okay, that's probably enough. And then this time, oops, that's going to be my base, but this time, rather than stamping the words straight down onto here, I am going to use a punch. That's the word I'm looking for, punch. So birthdays are the best days will fit. Will it fit in this one? No. So it does need to be a bigger one. It needs to be this. Perfect. So I'm going to use Pretty Peacock for this. And a piece of card. See how quickly this has come together? I mean, it really doesn't take long at all. The sizing for this, while that dries, because I know you're wondering, is 12.5 centimetres by 8 centimetres, which in imperial would be 5 by 3.25, give or take knots. Okay, and then the layer for this one, I'm going to use Seaside Spray. So the layer from this one goes up by 0.5 centimetre or 1/8 of an inch. All right, and then I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock cardstock base and we'll just cut that down. No, we'll just fold that down into even. Fold that in half. There we go. And then that's going to sit on there like that. And now I just need to work out where I'm going to put my sentiment, because obviously I didn't have a sentiment last time. Pop this out using the Everyday Label punch. Make sure it's straight-ish. Okay. And then it's going to be a question of where does it best fit. I think it's going to go in there somewhere. I don't really want it to cover up too much. I mean, I could just stamp straight down, but I think it would be lost. So, in fact, I might even put it, radical thought, right in over the, actually, I quite like that. So we'll pop that straight over there. So let's now start attaching this together. And then we can get on with the next one. So, I really love the randomness of this. It takes some getting used to, that you have no necessarily rules as to where everything needs to be. That can be a bit daunting sometimes, but if you get past that initial, you're not going to make a mistake because there are no rules, so that's quite good. You know, you're less likely to worry then at that point. Okay, so I'm just going to grab just a smidge of this. Yes, that's what we want, just a little piece of this. This is the scalloped trim that is in all of the in colours. So that's good. We can use it with any colour. And then I'm going to place a small amount of tear and tape on the back of my label. Take it off here now because it's easier on the table. Take that off. Attach your ribbon directly to your label. And the reason why you do that is so that when you lift your label up on dimensionals, the ribbon is lifted as well. You can have it both ways, but I like it looking like that. Then dimensionals. Okay. No soggy middles on my cards. We don't have anything that squishes. We like to make sure it's not going to get squashed in the post. And then straight down. Oops. Make sure it's straight. Is it straight? No, it's far from straight, Pip. Okay. Oh, some days my astigmatism. Perfect. There we go. So that's our first card. Isn't it pretty? And then on the inside I would just pop a little white insert in there, and it's going to be, I think, probably the rose, I think, would make the best insert feature. I was just trying to think which stamp would look best just on its own, because sometimes, you know, some of these don't look good just on their own. You need to have them with other things, but I think the rose we can just pop on, and we can put some leaves, and then we have a nice insert. And you could even then put you know, the other words, I love our beautiful friendship, inside. So if this was a birthday card to a friend, you can have words for both inside and out. But since at this point I don't know who I'm going to make this for, I will leave it wordless inside. Then you can always put on whatever you want to then, can't you? If I'm feeling brave, sometimes I stamp the inside after I've already stuck it down. If I find a card and I think, oh, that would be great for so-and-so, but I want to put this sentiment on the inside, I do actually stamp it straight on. It's a bit risky. It's a risky thing, but live dangerously. You know, I'm professional, so I should know what I'm doing. So, yeah, sometimes I do that. Okay, so that's that. And that's that. Isn't that pretty? And then for the next card, I am doing exactly the same, but we're going to change the colours. Okay, cleaned everything out of the way. So the colours we're going to be using for the next card are Mango Melody and Terracotta Tile, and these are just gorgeous together. So I thought, why not pair them? Because I did this card and I quite liked it, but it was a bit subtle because obviously it was using the So Saffron, and I wanted something that popped a little bit more. So I've decided I'm going to do something on a similar, you know, none of these cards are going to ever look exactly the same because they're random stamps. You know, you're building up a design as you go, so they're all going to be slightly different, and I like that. So I'm using again the beautiful massive roses, and I'm just putting that one down like that, this one down. Look at that beautiful colour from the Mango Melody. It's just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And I'm going to just overlap that one there, and then bring in just the single rose here and here, just to finish that off. So yeah, yeah, I think it needs a little bit just there. Right, so that's all I'm doing in terms of the flowers for that. I'm going to now reuse my little blocks, and we're going to do the centres. Okay, so these funny looking stamps, because they are funny looking, they're a strange sort of shape, but when you look down at them or through them, you'll see that they do actually match the centres of the flowers. So taking your Terracotta Tile ink pad, you see it's just that sort of T shape, and that's where you're going to put your centre of your flower. It looks weird because it doesn't look like it should fit, but somehow it works, even though it doesn't. It's not a perfect alignment in any way, shape or form, but it does fit. And then the smaller one is the same. See this little hooky shape here? There's a hooky shape in there, and we're just, oh, missed that one slightly, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to pop those in there. Now, interestingly, on the small individual rose, it's almost like it's on there already, but you can still overlay if you want to. I'm going to go straight down again with the sentiment. I mean, straight down this time with the sentiment. I'm also going to use Pretty Peacock, and I'm just going to stamp straight on. Now, if you don't feel, you know, that that's for you, that's fine. You don't have to stamp straight on. You can do what I've done here, and you can pop on a punched sentiment. That's not a problem. But I like the look direct to the card. I do like that look, so we're going to go with that. And then this time when we mount it, there we go. See, makes that just poof. Looks great. And then we're going to put a small amount of tape on the back because we are going to add some ribbon to this. Now, because we don't have a base that goes all the way around from front to back, you know, all the way around the actual edge, because this sits in the middle of the card, we don't have anything to tuck a ribbon behind. So we're just going to lay it underneath and stick out each side. If you're stingy, not that I'm saying crafters are tight, but if you were stingy, then you could just chop 2 little bits off and stick them on either side. But I very rarely do that because you can never get them exactly straight. So, and then that winds me up. So I'm going to just chop that piece off there and then get my grid paper back in, a nice clean side, and check that I've got this halfway down. Where's my tape gone? There it is. But see, they're really quick and easy cards. I think people would love to get these because they're fresh, summery, bright, cheery, you know, all those things. And I think they say nice things. So why wouldn't anyone want to get one of these? No, it's close enough. That'll be fine. So we're going to put this over the top of on the other side, and then glue that down. And then that's it. 2 cards. Less than 20 minutes to do 2 cards and have me yakking about stuff. So if you were on your own, you could make some beautiful sets with this, gift sets, wrap them in a beautiful one of our acetate boxes because they would all fit in the acetate box, and then you could decorate the front. You know, you could really go to town with the front, because you can cut these out and layer them up, which is what I was talking about earlier about masking them off and stuff. So you can do that, and they do layer nicely. Right, so that goes in there like that. It's pretty much spot on, straight off. There we go. So you could make somebody a set of birthday cards if you wanted to. There's one. There's another one. A big congratulations and best wishes to you. That could be a birthday card. You know, who says that it has to actually say birthday on it. I've got lots of congratulations and things to do. I've got team who've promoted and team who've qualified and all done all kinds of things in the last month. And my upline, my lovely upline, has also earned Maui, so that's nice. We'll be holidaying again together, so that's great. So yeah, there's, you know, lots of birthdays, lots of congratulations, lots of things to give to people. But you could do 2 like that, 2 like that. There's a set of 4 birthday cards to put into a nice set if you wanted to do that. Or you could go all this way and do multiple colours, or even this way and do it with a friendship one. You know, there's so many different options, but these are, yeah, this is a so happy to know you. This is a congratulations. So you could do that as 4 birthday cards if you wanted to and change that sentiment up. But I mean, there are so many different options to do. Why wouldn't you try one of each? So, what a great stamp set, don't you think? I love the fact, you know what I really like the fact of though? It looks like watercolouring and you haven't had to do any watercolouring. But if watercolouring is your bag, then you need to tune in next week, because next week I am doing watercolouring and background work and some, even though I say so myself, some really beautiful cards. So you need to come back next week if you do want to do some watercolouring. But in the meantime, if you don't want to do watercolouring, then something like this works beautifully. Right, so thanks ever so much for that. Tune in again next week. All the details are in the description below, and I'll see you again soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.